Hello, welcome to the Guys That Game video blog. That's GTG Games and Hobbies in Stoke-on-Trent. My name is Eddie. It's been a while since we've done a video blog. Those who've subscribed are probably used to seeing either store reports of things that have come into stock, Yu-Gi-Oh! We used to do deck profiles, and just general waffle from me. Well, nothing much has changed, except that we've added a few things to what we're going to be talking about, and we hope to do more of these videos. So first off, if you want to see more of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff, don't worry. We're going to do some deck profiles, we're going to do some deck construction, we're going to get some tournament reports, and we're going to get Jamie Williams back over with Tom Matthews and hopefully George Bennett and work through some of the decks together, show you some of the new stuff in action, and maybe even film some of the locals events here. Added to that list is Fight and Card Fight Vanguard, which is pretty popular here at GTG. Today we're not doing any of that. We're going to do Heroclix. This is because I've got a Heroclix event coming up this Saturday at the store. The event is called Iron and Steel, and as the name suggests, we have keyword restrictions which are armour and robot. So I thought long and hard, pretty much a couple of hours yesterday, on what I was going to put in, and I've bought a few figures out today that I'm considering. And you're very welcome to comment on these, tell me what you think. We're all relatively new to the game at the store. I've only been playing it a short while, so there's even a few rulings that we're not entirely 100% on. So we're here for criticism, no problem. Keep it polite, you know. Or don't keep it polite, that's what filters are for. So I'll run through what I've got going on. But first of all, I'll tell you what I think I'm going to be up against. So, I know for a fact we're going to have Sentinels, because one of the guys bought one. He's even threatening to bring two, which could be fun, having big Sentinels stomping around. Just in case you've not seen the Sentinels, there's one of them. He's a big lad, and let's get a close-up of him. Rawr, I'm Sentinel. I don't know if they do that in the movie, I can't remember. Anyway, so I'm definitely going to be meeting one of these. Let me just tell you what's on his first dial. He's got two dials, comes with two dials, and he can swap them at leisure virtually. Can hit 3 targets. He's colossal, he's got 9 range. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but he doesn't have to be. His to hit is 13 with Pulse Wave on his first click. He's got the, what is it, Impervious Pink defense. Obviously he's indomitable. And he's got 6 damage, and in close combat he's got close combat expert, I think, or no, he's got exploit weakness, so you don't dodge him and he hits you for 6. Nice. The clicks just get more horrific anyway as you go on, and that's not including his super duper abilities, his traits. So that's going to be bad for me, and I've got to think the way around it. It's not even particularly expensive. His top end is 350 points. So when you see my figures, you may see I'm going to have issues dealing with those high stats right at the start. The other guys, not so bad. They come in at a mixture of points for the alpha, 150 points. I think that's the alpha. It's just normal Sentinel. So you can mix these around. This is the alpha, I think. Again, they start on huge defences. He's got a defence of 19, this guy. Just straight out of the box, 19. Hello! And so, Sentinels, going to be a problem. The other thing is Jaegers from the Pacific Rim box. We've not really seen them on the tables, because we kind of don't allow Colossals through the games that we normally play. But for this one we thought, yeah, let's make it fun. We'll have a Colossals allowed game. We restricted the keywords. We have what's called GTG Highlander, which I'm sure lots of other places do as well, where you've got to keep it in theme. So you can have lots of little mooks, Sentinels running around. We can only have one Sentinel Alpha. And the same goes, a bit of an exception really, because if you remember the third movie, there was lots of Iron Man suits flying around. So we kind of let that swing, but not initially. You have to start with your one Iron Man. There you go, you could start with that guy, or perhaps more realistically that guy, which I'll introduce in a second, and he can turn into another Iron Man, so that's okay, we're cool with that. And if you have 2 figures on the board that turn into other Iron Men, that's okay too, because it's just like calling in Iron Men from the past, so it kind of works. GTG Highlander rule, there can be only one, unless you're a mook, and then you can be plenty. So what am I thinking running with? Well, the core, my tentpole figure so to speak, is this guy. There we go, you saw him earlier. Iron Man emerging from a pot of marmalade. That's what he's doing. And 250 points, you know, it's not cheap. But the guy's great. He starts pretty solid. Running shot 12, 11 penetrating psychic blast, which I've tried to put right through the theme. Because I know I'm up against Arm, they're going to have big defences and they're going to have invulnerabilities all over the place, impervious, and I want this to just shoot right through him. He's got 17 defence, and his special defence is quite cool. He's got mighty armour. Iron Man can use impervious, but reduces the damage to 0 on a result of 4 to 6. When Iron Man is targeted with penetrating psychic blast, damage dealt to him is not penetrating damage. Although if you hit for 6, that doesn't really matter. But the power can't be countered as well, so they can't outwit it, which is really cool. So I've gone with him as a start. He does 4 damage and he's got outwit on his first click, you know, so he can set himself up to at least get in, do some nastiness, and then move on. He can hit 2 targets, range of 7. His next click changes. He still gets the running shot, the penetrating psychic blast, both at 11. He's got 18 defense, which is respectable, and invulnerability. He gets perplex rather than outwit on his damage, and he's got 4 damage, which is the same as last time. Next one maintains his 4 damage. He's got hypersonic speed, yeah, so he's going to be flying around punching people. What's that? 11 on pulse wave, yeah, pulse wave, 4 damage perplex. Click 3 is back to outwit on the damage, 4 damage. He's still hypersonic in and around, pulse waving, 17 defense, not bad, vulnerability. His damage drops down to 3 now, but he gets mighty revert. Now, if he's sent to this click through an opponent's damage, I can then replace him with another Iron Man. Ta-da! So you get a not half beaten Iron Man of your choice really, and the points are bound to be lower at the collection I've got. So that's a very cool ability for me, and that just happens as long as I'm knocked into it by my opponent. If I push into it, it won't go off. And unfortunately, if you do push into it, then his stats really take a tumble and it becomes a bit of a liability. He gets 9 move with a charge. He's got Quake, toughness on a 16 defense, so not so good, and 3 damage, and it just rapidly goes downhill from there. He gets his outwit back a few clicks on, but he's soon down to KO 2 clicks later. The next one who does a similar thing is these are really interesting characters as well, it's another reason I want to play him, is the Iron Engine. He's great, looks great. I mean, look at him, he's a chase figure, there you go, nice big chase figure. Cracking set of stats on this. He's another one that can turn into another Iron Man, so when Iron Engine would be KO'd, this is his trait, summon Ancestral Spirit, roll 2d6 that can't be re-rolled. If the result on either die is 5 or 6, so you've got a reasonable shot at it, you may replace this character with one from 051 to 054 on its starting line. And these are the sexy Iron Men, so let me show you which one I'd pulled out. There we go, this is 053. We lovingly call him Dildo Iron Man, and he's the Iron Paladin really, but that's what I would switch into. Now unfortunately I haven't got his card, so I can't show you all the sexy stuff he does, but he's nice, he's good. And even with, you know, if he starts down a good few clicks down, his stats are still pretty solid. You know, at the end of the day he's coming back from the dead, so it's whatever it is, it's good. It's better than being a KO. So obviously, what does Iron Engine do? Well, he starts off with running shot with 9 speed. He's got Quake, no, Energy Explosion, with it's a hit of 10, a defense of 18, a vulnerability, 3 damage, and this guy uses a water cannon effect. Basically, anyone who's hit by ranged attack from this guy gets knocked back. I can't remember exactly how many it is it half the damage? Oh, half of his attack roll. So he gets knocked back half the actual attack roll, and that could be a good distance. And there's then a water counter placed where the character occupies. So the character is immediately in hindering terrain, unless he's a fishy type guy. and he can't make a ranged attack against him next to him. So not only do you knock them back, which is good, you stick them in hindrance range, which is double plus good, and they then can't shoot you, which is fabulous. So he does all that sort of shenanigans. He does have another special ability. Iron Engine ignores penetrating damage dealt by non-adjacent characters. So if Mr. Enemy does happen to get a ranged shot off at you, isn't knocked back, isn't stuck in a pool of water and manages to do his range attack, then he can't actually do it with the ability that he's got. So very cool. What else has he got? His damage tends, he's only 3 right the way across, but you know he's good at just keeping him back while your range guys muscle. You know, Iron Man's got a lot of energy explosion, as you saw earlier, a lot of penetrating psychic blast. So I'm hoping to whip them down before they can get close to me and start carving me up. He gets a little bit of outwit later, but by the time he's got that, you know, he's dog meat up against these kind of guys, the Sentinels. So then the next one was a choice, really. I don't think I'll field both. I've got one or the other. Iron Patriot at 200 points or War Machine at 125. So let's look at Iron Patriot. Okay, so let's look at Iron Man's buddies, see who I'm going to bring to the table with him. Iron Patriot is first up. There's Iron Patriot. Yeah! All American badassery. He's bodyguard, but it means absolutely nothing because well, I won't have any celebrities, politicians, or ruler keywords, but basically he gives them a little bit of defensive buff and takes the damage himself, which is a bit of a two-edged sword, really. But he starts off fairly solid for 200 points. He's got running shot 12, penetration psychic blast 11, 17 defense. He's indomitable, and his sexy defense is combat reflexes and invulnerability. So you know he can take it toe to toe as well as dishing it out with 4 damage at range. He doesn't have sharpshooter. That's the bad thing. So he's got to keep these guys off him if he can to do his sexy effects. Pretty much the same as he moves through until he hits click 3. Then he gets charge, which is okay. Super strength, so he's meant to be mixing it up now. Outwit, which is useful, 4 damage, 16 defense. Click 4, it all changes again. His defense is up to 17, but only with toughness. He's got 3 damage where he has perplex. He's got steel energy, which is rerouting his circuits or something, and he's still got charge. And then on turn 5, he gets flurry, steel energy, toughness of 16, damage 4, perplex. So what he's doing as he moves through his dials, he sort of bangs it in from long range, and then he can swoop in and start mixing it up with the guys around him. Flurry is useful because it makes up for his crappy defense, because he still does fairly tidy damage. I mean, at one point you could risk going for damage on your perplex, do 5 damage, you've only got 9 to hit unless somebody else perplexes him up. But if you've got that and you hit twice and 4, you're going to steal energy up to the next click, which will then steal energy up to the next click as long as both of them hit. So he can really keep himself in the fight. But at 200 points, I don't know. Let's look at the slightly less expensive War Machine. There's War Machine, it looks very cool. War Machine's got variable threat adaptation, which is a great stat for this particular scenario. At the beginning of the game, choose a standard power. When an opposing character attacks War Machine using this chosen power, you modify its attack and damage values by -1. That's great, because I'll just choose Penetrating Psychic Blast to keep his armour intact from those shots. I mean, if he's outwitted, fair enough, not much I can do about that. But Penetrating Psychic Blast is the bane of armour. And with this you can make it just that little bit harder to hit him, just that little bit harder to do serious damage. Unless you're this guy and you're doing 6, his arms fell off. Oh yeah, by the way, these things, if you get one, they fall to pieces like nobody's business. Naughty whiz kids, you do make some crap figures. So what we got on this guy, he starts off, again, like I find most of the armour guys start off really respectable. But after about turn 4, they go downhill so rapidly. But this guy's 11 movement running shot, 11 attack, and 17 defense, which is good. It's invulnerable, 4 damage. He then goes to stealth mode with 9 move, 10 attack, and he gets range combat expert with a damage of 3. So he can mix up the variables there to hit, to damage, looking good. Click 3, damage drops to 2, but still got range combat expert, still got stealth. So he's more of a hit and hide rather than a hit and run. Click 4, I think at click 4 you see the end of War Machine. He's still got range combat at 2, range combat expert, but the rest of the stats just really don't help him at all. And from there on, it's just a horrible, nasty death. He's got about 3 clicks of uselessness. So I think you lose quite a lot for that 75 points. If I was going between the two, I'd probably go towards War Machine. Iron Patriot rather than War Machine. But 75 points, I could try and muscle out a few points elsewhere and bring in this guy. Now, I forgot to bring the figure with me, so but it's Silver Samurai. There you go, Silver Samurai. This came out in the Deadpool set recently. I really like it. He's got the armor keyword, so that's great for me. He's a close combat guy, and what I like about this, especially against other armoured characters, is that one, he's got teleport ring, and this is his traded ability. Silver Samurai can use phasing teleport anytime he likes, but once per game he can use it as a free action. So very early on he can just get straight in there and deliver a blow, which is nice. He's got charge, he's got stealth, he's got blades, claws, fangs, invulnerability. He's got samurai training, which gives him combat reflexes and toughness. But a little further into the dial, and I think it's around click 3, Silver Samurai can use blades, claws, fangs, and when he uses it, and the result is 1 to 3, damage from the attack is penetrating damage, which is great, because it means that even your sort of lower rolls are going to get in against the armoured guys. And if it's a high roll, then it shouldn't matter, because you'll probably still be doing a bit of damage unless they've got impervious and they roll well. He's got leadership, but I don't think that would make a difference with the guys I've got on the table. I don't think he's going to affect anyone. And he gets exploit weakness just to help in case anyone's dodging. But again, not many of the guys dodge. I mean, I think Patriot's got shape change, but that's it. So, there you go. That's potential. Not definitely my team, but some of the things I'm considering. If you've got any words of advice, they'd be very welcome. If you can think of some meaner ombres that I might have in my collection, then let me know. I'll give it a whirl. And what we'll do, we'll hopefully get some shots or maybe some video clips of the battle. We'll give you a battle report if you'd be interested in that, and let you know how it's going. Coming up, we've also got Attack of the Killer Wasp Names, which is our Deadpool organised play that we're doing, and that's running over 2 or 3 series where we have team play of villains and Deadpool themed guys taking them on. We've also got the War of Light coming up soon, so you're going to see boxes broken open for that, see what goodies we get in there, and then we'll be playing the games. And as I said, coming up as well, Yu-Gi-Oh! Cockfight Vanguard, Bodyguard, new releases to the store, organised play information. We've got Star Trek Attack Wing, we've got Star Wars X-Wing, and what else have we got? Other stuff that I can't remember. But thanks for watching. I hope we'll start seeing you guys watching again as we did in the past, and we promise to bring some cool videos to you real soon. Thanks again. Bye for now.